Welcome, sacred traveler. You have not arrived here by accident. Across the winds of time and the whispers of the earth, a message is calling you. Listen closely. In the still hours before dawn, when the world holds its breath, a crow calls at your window. And in that moment, it feels like more than sound. It feels like a message. Among the Lakota Sioux and many other indigenous nations of North America, this is no coincidence. It is not just a bird. It is a sign. A visitor from the spirit world. The Lakota have a saying. When the crow caws at your window, expect a change. Simple. Haunting. Profound. This isn't folklore, it's lived wisdom. Passed down through generations who understood the language of the earth. A crow's cry near your home, especially in the quiet hours, is a signal. A spiritual shift is near. It may be death. It may be birth. A return, a departure, a deep awakening. The crow is a messenger between worlds. A watcher. A keeper of thresholds. And in indigenous traditions, signs from nature are not dismissed as superstition. They are sacred communication, spoken not with words, but with wings and wind and feeling. So when the crow calls to you, don't fear it. Don't ignore it. Breathe. Listen. Because something within you already knows. Change is coming. And the crow has come to prepare your spirit. To guide your steps across whatever threshold awaits. Stay with us as we journey deeper into this ancient Lakota teaching and rediscover the sacred art of listening to the world behind the world. To the Lakota Sioux, the crow is far more than a scavenger. It is a sacred presence, a guardian of the spirit realms, a boundary walker between life and death, between earth and sky. Its voice is not random. When it breaks the silence, it does so with purpose, with intention. The crow is both trickster and teacher, playful at times, but always wise. It carries messages from the ancestors, echoes from the other side. And when a crow appears at your window, especially during times of emotional heaviness or inner unrest, it is said to announce a shift, a turning point. A sign that your life path is about to change. It may not tell you how, but it reminds you that the unseen world is watching, guiding, and preparing you. The crow calls, and the soul listens. Why the window? In indigenous symbolism, a window is more than just glass and frame. It is a sacred threshold, a portal between worlds, the inner and outer, the seen and the unseen, the self and the spirit. When a crow lands on your windowsill or caws from just beyond the pane, it is not mere coincidence. It is knocking on your spiritual door. To many native traditions, this is a powerful sign. The crow may be announcing a death or the quiet departure of someone's spirit from your circle. But just as often, it signals a birth, not always of a child, but of something new within you. A gift. A calling, a shift in your sacred path. Sometimes it comes to warn of heartbreak, a relationship ending, or illness ahead. Other times it brings the spark of awakening, a whisper that says it's time to rise. Whatever the message, one truth remains. To ignore the crow at your window is to ignore a sacred visitor. The wise pause. They listen. And they ask, what is Spirit trying to show me now? The Lakota are not alone in honoring the crow as a messenger. Across Turtle Island, what many call North America, crows appear again and again in the oral traditions of indigenous peoples. To the Cherokee, a crow flying low in wide circles is no random act. It's a warning, danger is near. Sometimes it means a spiritual attack is already underway. Among the Hopi, when crows gather on a rooftop, it signals that something unseen is clinging to the home. A call for spiritual cleansing and protection. To the Navajo, crows bring news of imbalance. If peace and harmony have been disturbed within a household, the crow comes to make it known. And to the Ojibwe, the crow is a trickster, yes, but also a seer of change, especially the kind that shifts the balance of an entire community. These patterns are not coincidence. They are echoes of a deeper knowing shared across hundreds of generations. The crow does not come to scare. It comes to speak. And if you listen closely, beneath its caw is a sacred truth, a message, a warning, an invitation to awaken. In Western culture, the crow is often feared, a shadowy figure, an omen of death or misfortune. But in Lakota tradition, and in many indigenous teachings, death is not the end, nor is loss something to dread. The crow's message is not one of doom, but of transformation. When its caw echoes outside your window, it may be a warning, yes, but not of punishment or fear. It may be the start of something sacred, a realization that cannot be ignored, a healing path you've resisted, a sign it's time to shed what no longer serves you, whether it be pain, patterns, or people. Sometimes the crow comes to break you open, so that spirit can reach inside and reawaken what has gone numb. It may be calling you back, to your roots, to your truth, to the old ways, ceremony, stillness, and deep listening. In this light, the crow is not a curse. It is a guide, a midwife of spiritual rebirth. So the next time you see it watching, don't turn away. Something ancient may be speaking through its wings. Many Lakota elders speak of moments when the cry of a crow was more than just sound. It was spirit speaking. Elder Hollow Elk from Pine Ridge remembers it clearly. My brother passed in the night. I didn't know it yet. But before dawn, a crow came to my window and stared at me. I knew something had happened, and I was right. That wasn't fear, it was knowing. And then there's Grandmother Willow Horse of Rosebud. I had a dream of crows the night before my son was born. They circled above my teepee in spirals like the sky was opening. He came early, but strong. To the Western mind, these may sound poetic, but to those who walk the red road, they are sacred confirmations. The crow is not just a bird. It is a messenger between worlds, a watcher, a witness, a weaver of fate. Sometimes it brings sorrow, sometimes new life, but always it brings a shift, a sign that spirit is near. Listen when the crow comes. Look deeper, because in its cry, a teaching may be unfolding. Some indigenous prophecies speak of the crow not only as a messenger of personal change, but as a herald of Earth's deeper unrest. On the ancient Hopi prophecy rock, birds are shown taking flight just before great upheaval. It is said that when the winged ones rise suddenly, the Earth is preparing to shift. The crow, dark, watchful, a scavenger of truths, is believed by some to appear more often when global transformation is near. In Lakota tradition, an increase in crow activity, especially near homes or gathering places, may mean more than coincidence. It could be a sign that Mother Earth is stirring, that spiritual preparation is needed, that the ancestors are drawing close. In our modern world of melting ice, rising heat, and growing division, such signs take on greater weight. These aren't just climate reports or headlines. They are signals, whispers from the natural world, warnings wrapped in wings. The crow calls not only to the sky, but to our hearts, to remember, to realign. Because when the crow cries, something is shifting. And if we listen, we may still find a path through the coming storm. When the crow visits, traditional teachings say, do not fear. Instead, listen. Among the Lakota and many indigenous peoples, the crow is not a curse, but a sign, a sacred messenger, a boundary walker between worlds. The old ones say, when you see the crow, especially near your home, or when your heart is heavy, pause, be still. Acknowledge the presence. Say a quiet prayer to Wakantanka, the Great Spirit. Ask for clarity, for strength, for eyes to see what lies just beyond the veil. Then observe. What else is stirring in your life? What needs to be released or embraced? Some elders teach that after such a visit, you should cleanse your space. Light sage or sweetgrass. Let the smoke carry your prayers. And then act. Because when the crow calls, change is already on its way. You must meet it not with fear, but with awareness, with an open heart. This is not superstition. It is sacred noticing. To honor the crow is to honor your own intuition, your own turning point, and the quiet voice of the ancestors reminding you, you are never alone. In modern spiritual language, the crow is no longer a creature to be feared, but a guide. It appears when the soul begins to stir, when something hidden must rise. The crow flies into your life as a shadow walker, a truth bringer, piercing the silence. Its call is not to scare you. It is to awaken you to the pain you've buried, the patterns you deny, the healing you delay. You see, the crow doesn't come to curse you. It comes to crack the shell of denial, to lead you inward, into the places you've forgotten, feared, or avoided. In indigenous teachings, this isn't a superstition. It's sacred wisdom. The Lakota prophecy is not a threat, it's an invitation. When the crow comes, the elders say, you are being called to return to your ancestors, to your truth, to your purpose. It is time to live with balance, to walk with respect for the land, the unseen, and the inner world. This isn't myth, it's medicine. So next time the crow visits your window, pause, pray, listen, because what feels like a warning might just be your soul waking up. When the crow caws at your window, expect a change. It may not happen that moment or even that day, but something begins to shift. To the Lakota Sioux and many indigenous traditions, this isn't coincidence. It's ceremony. It's the moment when the veil thins, when your soul hears the echo of something ancient, something sacred. The crow doesn't visit lightly. Its call is raw, raspy, and unforgettable. It breaks silence, not just in the air, but within you. So the next time that black-feathered messenger appears, don't rush to shut the window. Don't brush it off as nothing. Instead, breathe. Feel. Listen. Because in that moment, you are being invited to cross a threshold, to examine your life with honesty, to reconnect with your ancestors, to walk in harmony with the earth, with spirit, and with your deeper self. Thank you for watching. If you've ever heard a crow outside your window during a strange or emotional time, know this. You're not imagining the connection. You are being called. You are being guided. We invite you to share your story in the comments. Your voice matters. Your experience carries wisdom. Let's honor the messages. Let's honor the messengers. And above all, let's walk this path with respect for the signs, for the sacred, and for the soul. Until next time, walk gently and stay open. The crows are still speaking.